No.
It looks fire.
Down here?
I think we're live. Welcome to the second Apodcalypse. Season 2, episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
We're back, baby.
It was really cool to see how much positive outreach we had on the internet. I was flattered.
Yes.
And psyched to be here. Hopefully be entertaining. Probably make as many cum jokes and ass jokes as I normally do. So if anybody grew up for the last few months, I'm sorry for you. This isn't going to work out.
I know. It's been
Like
2 years.
Yeah.
I think, right?
I think it said something in December 22 on my computer.
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much stopped like a couple months after the boy was born.
The boy?
The boy.
My child?
We got to talk into this, dude.
Oh.
I think. We got to get some folks in the chat telling us how this fucking audio sounds.
Trap or die.
This is the first time we've done a YouTube. So. There we go. Who the fuck is the folk bloke?
I was trying to...
What's up?
I don't think I remember anybody.
Dude, I totally remember people.
Okay, that's good, because I was like, I'm going to disappoint all of the people that have shown up for like every episode.
Here, you can use the Discord as a reference. Oh, wait, that's not our Discord.
Is that the Dark Souls?
No, that's Slowly Red's Discord.
The Sugar King.
Yeah. Remember the Sugar King? What's up, B-Rad? And then hello, the folk.
I remember B-Rad.
I think my brother might be in here too. Oh, no way. Started listening at the end of the season, never got to join. That's dope.
For sure. Dude, I didn't get around to it, but I was thinking about going full square.
Oh, trying to plait your beard.
Yeah. In the Nordic tradition.
In the Norserai tradition.
Yeah.
Do the Norserai pleat their beards?
I think so. Someone's gonna know all the different ethnicities of things that I don't, but
I know, it's funny. Like, as I'm reading and annotating the book, I'm like, I don't know anything about this fucking story. It's like there's so many people that know so much more. But that's chill though, because they all come out and hang in the chat.
I got a couple notes from people online that talked about what cities are analogs of what other city, and so I'm going to mention that when we talk. Like Shima is Jerusalem and whatnot. Which maybe that's obvious to people, but I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Should we do like kind of just an introduction of what we're doing and who we are?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So for any new people, this is a podcast about R. Scott Bakker's The Second Apodcalypse. LOL, it's The Second Apocalypse. We really like the books, and
it looks so cool.
Yeah, we look cool. Look sick. We like the books. We hung out with our friends a lot, and they had not read the books, and we would talk about them, and we realized how annoying we were.
Yeah.
So we thought, hey, we're white men. Let's make a podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
The white male urge, the strong desire. Oh yeah, B-Rad's asking where the sorcery music box is.
Oh dude, it's at home. I think I left it on. The batteries are dead, but I'll bring it back in following episodes.
Hell
I promise.
I thought about that. Yeah. What and so we've done the first series. I think we did a video for every chapter, and I think we're just going to do that again at a slower pace, probably monthly. But yeah, we're just going to kind of get into it, and would love to hear, y'all's thoughts and input in the chat. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, and B-Rad, I definitely remember you, and it's good to see you. I appreciate your fucking support. You got any input on what we're doing?
I was just no, I got distracted. I was doing research on Matchbox 20 earlier.
How was that? How was that?
Well, this dude's got crazy eyes. Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. He's just a faceless man. Because remember we saw the Barbie movie?
Mm-hmm.
Is the song that the Gosling was playing on acoustic guitar.
Oh, yeah.
It's a banger.
I love that movie.
It was great.
Well, should we just get into it?
Yeah. So we may have atrocious spoilers for the whole series.
Yes.
My brain is not organized in a way that I can keep my mouth shut, I guess. Or maybe it is, but we like to try to see if there's connections through the whole series that we can see. We do close reading. We both went to college and we're both huge dorks that well, you've got your master's degree now.
I got a goddamn master's degree.
I was thinking on the way here, like how Bakker has a PhD without dissertation. I've got master's without degree. Just claim it,
An honorary master's.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you think Bakker watches this?
God, I hope not.
I thought about that. I was like gonna talk mad shit about him and like how I don't know, just like talk shit about him. And then I was like, what if he fucking ghost watches this show? That would be wild. He can take it though.
Oh yeah, we are full of academic rigor. You're probably more rigorous than I am at this point.
No, definitely not. I think out of the two of us, you're the most intelligent.
Oh, shush.
I'm the most lean and strong.
That is true. We couldn't eat my meat on the slog first, I think.
Oh shit.
No, we probably, well, at least I'll probably talk shit on Bakker and make fun, but I think he's really cool and he's improved his works have improved my life. So it's not meant to actually deride him.
Mm-mm.
It's just because I have a hard time being genuine and can't just say that I appreciate something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
People say stuff like that.
It's fun to tease.
Yeah. So in chapter 1, it's dedicated to Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan. Bakker says, my brother, both of heart and vision. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I think the last we've heard, I mean, I'm not as plugged into the Bakker scene online as I know other people are, but I think the last we've heard about the author was an update from his brother, like last year maybe.
Oh, really? It was last year?
It might have been. I mean, time is we've been annihilated by the river of time, as our friend Sam would say. But I just remember him saying that Bakker's doing okay. Their mom died and that was really hard. And he's helping take care of his family, which all sounds like very normal stuff.
Yeah.
He's not making excuses for why he hasn't put out a book in 13 years that everyone's clamoring for.
True.
And instead writing multiple TV series and to avoid doing the thing that everyone wants him to do as he's aging.
As he's slowly dying.
Yeah.
The dementia is slowly overtaking his brain. We're talking about
Germ.
Yeah. George R.R. Martin, not Bakker. Yeah. So
he also opens the book with a land acknowledgement.
Oh, that's cool.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, God damn.
Just a normal acknowledgement. Which I couldn't glean much from. Like, I mean, I don't know. There's people he knows that I don't know, so who knows? But he mentions his Lord Mythfanion, which sounds pretty sick, who helped put the virus in viral marketing. So shout out to the Lord Mythfanion and also Loose Cannon, but I'm more curious about who that mythical guy is.
Yeah.
Or girl.
And
or NB.
This is in the acknowledgement.
Yeah, so what, probably 2004 or something? So it's a 20-year-old book.
I don't know.
Time keeps on slipping.
You wanna throw us into the catch up or whatever?
Yeah.
What came before?
What has come before? Well, so I'm on my third reread of the series, audiobooks, and they keep saying wars as a rule fall within the compass of history. So I had to say that, but this book doesn't open with that. It opens with a quote from Kant that I have next to no fucking clue what it means. Here we see philosophy to what is, in fact, a precarious position, which should be made fast, even though it is supported by nothing in either heaven or earth. Here, philosophy must show its purity as the absolute sustainer of its laws, and not as a herald of laws which implanted sense, or who knows what tutelary nature whispers to it, from the foundations of the metaphysics of morals. And from the one sentence preview of Wikipedia that I Googled, that says that Kant argues that the rightness of an action is determined by the principle that a person chooses to act upon.
Yeah.
So I think that ties into Callus's ultimate manipulation of his goal, or of the Holy War. You know, his principle vastly outweighs the consequences of any of his actions.
Right.
He's mission focused.
Is that what? And that would be the logos, the principle.
I think so. Well, and finding his father. I'm kind of wondering, maybe I'm just like missing the obvious, but Moengus got kicked out of Ishwal. Actually, that'll be in the intro. Yeah, B-Rad, do you like the first 3 books narrator or the second 4 better? I think they both fit for their series, but I'm curious, you know?
Yeah.
You have a preference?
I liked the first at first, like my first listen through, and then I liked the second time. But they are both good, yeah. Folk bloke, which is an impossible name to say.
The fuck block.
Fuck block.
Sorry.
Says both are good.
Hell yeah.
But they like the first one better. Yeah. What's come before?
So war is a thing. There was a first apocalypse.
Yep.
I was trying to think about how I could summarize this in the worst way possible, but I didn't get that creative, so I'm just gonna wing it, and it'll be naturally bad. There's this dude, Inri Sejanus, who is essentially Jesus. I think the Inri is the shit they wrote on top of his cross when he was crucified. Latin for tyrant, maybe? I don't know. I read this book about Jesus last year called Zealot, and it was like a true history of Jesus written by a Christian. And they made a big deal about how he was like a political revolutionary more so than like a religious figure. Like he threatened the Roman system, the political stability of it, more than it was like a religious intolerance thing.
Right.
I don't totally know, but I think that that's what Inri's for. Also, someone else is definitely going to know and can enter that in if you want to correct us. But he's inspired by Jesus. There's the Tusk, which is the holy book, the Old Testament kind of reinterpreted by Inri Sejanus, and then that inspired Inrithism, which is the main religion of the 3 C's, which is the zone we're in most of this series. And they're cooking up a holy war to go take back the Holy Lands, Shima, Jerusalem, I believe, and against the Phanim, which are kind of the I forgot the obvious word, Muslims. Yeah, believers in Islam. I don't know if the religions line up exactly. Like this book is or the metaphysics are based on Gnosticism in Bakker's books.
Yeah,
and I'm not really even that like schooled in Christianity, because thankfully I wasn't raised like that. But those are the corollaries, the Christians and the Muslims and holy wars or crusades, holy wars, jihads, whatever. So they're beefing, and there's sorcerer schools. We got the anagogic schools, which are cowards, and we think they're lame, they're posers. And we've got the Gnostic mandate, which are legit, but everybody thinks that they're wacky. And we got the Kisharim, who use the passion of the gods and are not tainted with the mark of damnation.
Dude, the Kisharim are the goat.
I think they're sick. I was wondering about, yeah, I don't think that I'm dedicated enough to study like, what is it, the arcane geometries and the calculus. I was like, I couldn't learn calculus, but I could probably like, I don't know, sum it up, the passion of something into blasting out cool rays of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could do that.
Thanks.
You're
Hope so.
welcome.
Yeah. Just start blasting. First Apocalypse. There were these bad dudes called the Consult.
Yep.
And they had the ultimate bad weapon guy, the no god, Mog Farao or Mog Pharaoh. I've had some contention over the pronunciation, but Mog Farao is more fun to say for sure. He was defeated, or it was defeated 2,000 years ago, and now the mandate through ancient legendary sorcerers Swatha are tripping about the Consult coming back, and everybody thinks that they're crazy. So, shall I continue? That was the first of 3 sort of introductions of this book. Cooking up the summary of the first book. There's this dude, Mathonet. He's a new upstart pope. He's hot. He's sexy. Everybody likes his charisma.
He's greased.
He's probably pendulous. He's a granite arching phallus. And he is in Momum, which is, okay, I'm taking this from, what is it, Weenie Poo on Reddit. Do you ever read that guy's posts?
No. Super
well educated and does like these funny, replaces entire songs lyrics with like Second Apocalypse lyrics.
Dope.
Yeah. To a degree. It's like I'm not that creative, but I was thinking that he could do the No God with One Armed Scissor by At the Drive-In. I thought that might work. So if you want to take that, if you hear about that, please, I'd love to read it. Okay. Supposedly, Inrithism is Christianity, Venemer is Islam, the Nansur Empire is the Byzantine Empire, Kian is the Arabic, Persian, Turkic, Muslim world, Skilvendi are the Scythians, Huns, Mongols, the Shraya Mathonet of the Thousand Temples of the Pope, Shima is Jerusalem, Sumna is Rome, and Momum is Constantinople.
Damn, that's sick.
And I don't know anything about that time period really, but it feels cool to know that stuff.
Yeah. Well, if my brother Robbie's in the chat, he's the actual scholar and he does Middle Eastern studies, so maybe he can chime in. Damn,
we could get a Middle Eastern studies guy on this.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's in here. So that was, we give credit to Weenie Poo for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Weenie Poo.
Poo.
And B-Rat, in regards to the Kisharim Passion Water, says, our tones give off different vibrations, which are geometric. Yeah.
I like that.
I like it too. What shape am I? What's my geometry?
Rhombus.
Go. Rhombus?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of just because I like the sound of the word.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's good.
Polygon. Everything is a polygon. Right?
I have no idea.
I hope that my stomach groan just got on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I feel like I'm kind of dragging our asses through this.
Let's just jump into the chapter.
Yeah.
And let's rapid fire, everybody knows what happened in the first book.
Yeah.
They watched the podcast.
I'm going to shout out my very scattered notes real quick,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Okay.
I said the Scarlet Spires are a bunch of bitches.
Okay.
I highlighted the phrase blasphemous taint.
Yes.
I think they're talking about, what is it? The commune. Alone in his humble tent, he weeps, overcome by loneliness, dread, and remorse. I said, I call that an average Saturday night.
That's true.
Sarcellus, soldier for the Nansurs, who takes Esmenet under his wing. Ultimate Sigma male.
Yep.
Andrew Tate energy.
Big time Andrew Tate energy.
And those are the crucial notes I took on the introduction.
I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so yeah, that brings us to chapter 1, which starts out with a quote from an ancient Cuneiform proverb, which just says, ignorance is trust, which I find to be kind of annoying.
Speak on that.
I don't know. I'm just like, what does that mean? What do you think that means?
So we've been talking behind the scenes a little bit about how we think that some of what Bakker writes is just kind of bullshit. But I feel like for my life that also applies to like anything else too, where I don't know. I think I'm also a little bit sick, so my brain might be melted, but like things can sound profound and be completely meaningless. And it's hard for me to tell what's what sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it about that?
No, I'm mostly teasing. Ignorance is trust. I guess if you trust something, you can really be open to being ignorant about the truth of it.
Yeah. I
Folk
mean,
bloke says ignorance is trust sounds like it's about people not questioning things.
for sure.
Yeah.
And one thing about the books too I've realized is that like obviously they're full of philosophy, but Bakker just also does be saying shit.
Yeah.
So it's not that every philosophical phrase that he mentions is necessarily something he endorses too.
Yeah.
Which that could be obvious, but I'm on my third read through right now, and I feel like I'm starting to parse out more what he might believe versus what like characters believe.
Yeah.
But I've mentioned this in the last number of episodes, but I think that if you want to distill it to one theme in the first 3 books is that doubt is crucial to life. Having the humility to consider that you could be wrong about anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, Folklook says Akka talks a lot about questioning. Of course, I can't find it, but I took some quote samples where some of my favorite parts of the first 3 books, and it might be in this one, I can't remember, but are Akka trying to explain to Proyas about like doubting the certainty of things and that you are completely unable to know, or unable to completely know rather. And I don't know, that's about it.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels very nice to hear to me because I'm not a big believer in a lot of like popular religious ideas or political ideas or anything. And I think people naturally tend to think that they have the right ideas about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But having some space to change your mind or like consider that there might be problems with what you endorse is, I don't know, it seems crucial. Something else he said is like doubt begets understanding. It goes doubt begets understanding. Conviction is what kills, I think that Bakker says, which is like a Protathis or a Gensis quote. I'm sure we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Don't let me hog the mic though.
No, you're good.
Okay.
It starts out, Akamian is blasting through some dreams. He's straight blasting. They're on the march, right? They've left Momum.
Yeah, I think they just left.
Mm-hmm. And so Akamian is just like astral projecting through the terror realms of the Mandate fucking dreamscapes. It says the dimensionless geometry of dreams never ceased to startle Akamian. There's something monstrous about a world where nothing was remote, where distances dissolve into a froth of words and competing passions, something no knowledge could overcome. And then Bakker uses the phrase "pitched from nightmare to nightmare," which I appreciate. I think that's kind of cool. But he's looking for not Sarah, right?
Yeah.
Because thinks he's gonna go tell him about Kellis, or is he just doing a little check-in?
I think he thinks he's gonna talk to Kellis. He's conflicted over whether reporting back to Nutsera, who's kind of his like spy handler, school manager.
Yeah.
He's the middle manager.
Yeah.
About how he found the prophetic dude, but then he's also freaking out about not saying it, not telling him.
Yeah.
And I was kind of wondering why this whole first chapter, I was like, you could just tell him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my only thing was I think it might make a lot more work for Akamian. So he's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, but I think he just is afraid of admitting that the second apocalypse may be upon them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never been embroiled in a prophecy that I know of.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why couldn't the Eagles have just taken them to Mordor? I'm sorry.
So who's Gollum in this?
Oh my god, dude. This is a side note. I love Gollum. I had never read The Lord of the Rings until now. I'm on the last one.
Okay.
Return of the King. And for all the viewers out there, I never realized how awesome Gollum is. And we can talk about it. We can get into it more.
Yeah. I wish that we had the space for you to like do an act out, Andy Serkis style, you know?
Yeah. So anyway, Akamian's going through the dreams, looking for not Sarah. And really, I feel like this chapter is mostly a image of the first apocalypse.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes through what happened. So he kind of blows into not Sarah's dream. Akamian does. And it's not Sarah's there as Seswatha saying, Anastarimur Kelmummus is dead. The Raku are all fucking flying around. Billowing gusts are staggering those who stand. Teeth are cracking. Bodies are tumbling like coals from a kicked fire. And let's see that we got some good dragon words here. I don't know which dragon this is, but it says, "Our Lord hath tasted thy king's passing, and he saith, it is done." I love the dragons.
It's so fucking hard.
I know.
I really like, I know it's contentious in the fandom, but I don't know if it's appropriate, but I really like the horny dragon at the end of the books.
Oh, totally. Earlier, I was thinking about what we should say, like who we should say we are.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wanted to be the horny dragon.
Is it Scathula?
Maybe. Yeah. Scuthula. This is Scafra.
Okay.
I
think
Folkbloke says Cunny Dragon is best dragon. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All the dragons are such sassy bitches too, which I find delightful.
I just read I read The White Luck Warrior and the Great Ordeal within the last month, and just the old rotted out I don't remember his name. The father of dragons, the first dragon.
I don't remember.
He's just like rotting to. Well, he can't die, so
he's stinky.
He's real stinky.
Yeah,
he's just like kind of upset that they woke him up, and he like fights for a second and flies away.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any eyeballs.
He's like an old pug, like a wretched old pug.
Genetic abomination.
Yes, totally. Fucking created out of the hatred of fucking life.
Yeah.
Just the absolute worst. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're working with Scoffer right now. Seswatha / Not Sarah / Akamian are all talking to Scofra. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, and then Not Sarah realizes Akamian is there with him. And so then they're checking in.
Yeah, so this is a cant of calling, right?
Yes.
Where you have to this might be an unnecessary interjection, but kind of like in fantasy, checking out how they come up with ways to skirt like long distance talking without cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
So in this book, they've got cants of calling where if you know the spell or ritual, and you know where someone is when they're sleeping, you can pop into their dreams. And so I guess not Sarah and the dudes back at the island of the mandate they always stay in the same place, the leaders, and then Kamian checks in with his whatever check-ins,
Yeah.
gives them updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I like it.
That's my commentary on that.
I like the glass candles
Pretty neat.
in Asswife, A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes. He says, "Not Sarah. It is I." I love how melodramatic he is.
Mm-hmm.
Akamian. Oh, okay, so yeah, not Sarah's like, "I'm dreaming so much," and Akamian's like, "Yeah, I know." So he's checking in. Not Sarah's like, Mathanet, were you able to learn anything more of him? Akamian says, "I thought Proyas might have helped, but I was wrong. He belongs to the Thousand Temples, to Mathanet." So, okay, so, and then Not Sarah says, "What is with your students, Akamian? Why do they all turn to our rivals?" I thought that was interesting.
Is that the ultimate result of any student?
Damn.
Come to threaten the status and prestige of the master,
Yeah.
whether intended or unintended.
Yeah.
Does every son desire to kill his father?
I was gonna say the son inherits the father, as Nietzsche said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't wait to kill my dad. I'm just kidding.
Akamian's students both don't have very nice endings, though.
No, they do not.
It sucks because he seems like one person who actually cares about his kids or his students.
Totally.
Compared to a lot of the other ones. Maybe there's more compassion within character relationships than I imagine at first, but we only get to see into a few people's heads, and Kamian actually likes his little guys.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
So they're checking in. Kamian is kind of skirting around, giving updates. I mean, he does talk to them about the skin spy and everything. They know about the mandate knows about the skin spy.
Right. That old dude Skaeus who was really fast at climbing stairs even though he was old.
Stairmaster.
Stairmaster Skaeus.
Yeah.
Sounds like an 80s DJ or something.
It does.
Like Skate Master Tate, Grandmaster Flash or something.
Yeah.
I've heard of music before.
I've listened.
Yeah.
Okay. So the tech name, Not Sarah said, Not Sarah is feeling some fear about the old science. Yeah. So I mean, they're just checking in, and then he withholds the information because Not Sarah says, like, what? Give me more information or whatever, and Akamian just says nothing of significance, and then he's just questioning, why did I do that? Why did I conceal Kellis from the mandate? Why protect? Blah blah blah, and then Not Sarah kind of cuts him off with like, "Okay, cool. Like, let's get on with it. Can you CC this dream to everyone?" He says, "Send this dream to the entire quorum. All at Ursus trembles." I'm like, how do you, like, you just CC it? Reply all.
It seems like a little rude to be like, you tell everyone when he's just like around. He could just like go to his neighbors in the morning and be like, "Yo,
yeah, that's true.
Morning meeting here."
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's what a boss would do.
Yeah, that's true. If he's middle management, it's his whole job.
So Kamian probably never relaxes because he's always tripping in his dreams, but just make him do work.
Yeah.
That's like one thing I hate about, I remember a lot of my dreams, but when you have mundane ones of like going to work, and then you wake up and you have to go to work.
Yeah.
I feel like that like is just, you're spiritually ripped off.
Yeah.
Did I just trigger something? I'm so sorry.
No. Work is good. Not really. I mean, I like my work.
Yeah. I mean, I think work isn't inherently bad, but just I don't know. The drudgery of the day-to-day can be soul crushing for me sometimes.
For sure.
Which is why I underachieve.
Which is why I'm an underachiever.
Yeah.
What next? What happens next?
Okay, we're checking into a commune in the present. Well, I guess we were there, but he wakes up. Starts daybreak seemed bold. I just like this. That's how the next page starts, or on my online edition. And it's double entendre where the sun coming up seemed like bold to the circumstances. That's also the name of his mule.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Daybreak.
the end of this section ends with him dodging a question from Kellis by mentioning the name of his mule.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's sick.
It is
Figured
sick.
out this little Easter egg or whatever.
Yeah.
I got psyched on myself.
That's good. Daybreak is a commune's innocence, his love,
Ooh.
and his like passion, his goodness.
That was good. That was rigorous.
Very rigorous.
Mm-hmm. He's commune's thinking. He's walking the baggage train and he's thinking about why he always walks in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it seems to represent his self-esteem and place in the world, like how sorcerers are looked down upon, but also he doesn't feel great about himself.
Mm-hmm.
But also he can just chill and he doesn't have to interact with any other people.
Yeah. Yeah, he is pretty, I mean, he's pretty humble. He's not really preoccupied with status,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
No.
He's pretty preoccupied with himself, but that's cool. That's part of his character, and who isn't?
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like a commune is a very human character in that you do get a lot. I mean, I guess a lot of the characters are preoccupied with himself, but a commune is like a good middle ground of like he does really fucking fucked up shit, but also is really lovable,
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, he's the one that I like see myself as the most, which I don't know if that sounds really ridiculous or arrogant or whatever that says about me,
Mhm.
but I like wizard shit and I have mental terror. And I just like that he's sad and struggling, and I don't know, it feels relatable in a way. But again, I haven't mastered my Gnostic geometry, so
Not yet.
no.
I'm Nayer.
You are you are buff enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm huge. I have black hair. My arms are ribbed with scars.
Mm-hmm. The tracks of paths that were taken away from this world.
Yes.
I just want to mention this real quick. Baker uses analogy here, says the men of the Tusk, as far as the eye could see, scattered across the countryside, clustered about the road like ants on an apple peel. And I just thought, who peels apples, man?
Apple peel.
Is only villains in movies peel apples with knives while they're telling you their evil plan.
Yeah. Or maybe like a toddler.
Yeah.
But I've never peeled an apple for Milton.
I don't know. Maybe there was some weird thing about apple peels then.
Yeah.
And it's poetic, but I actually ate some of an apple the last 2 days. One was bad, one was good. But I was just like, apple peel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat an apple every day.
Oh, really?
Totally.
Damn.
Probably 2 bananas a day too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The cock and balls.
The ball and 2 cocks.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
B-Rat asks if Madness is here, and I don't know. Maybe. Madness, are you here? I hope. So this is some logistical shit. They're talking about the Holy War's like logistics. Where like okay, so Zynemus is saying the Kenryan contingent they're headed to Osgiliath, and there's a couple different factions wanting to go different ways for various reasons, pillaging / foraging shit. So there's some just politics there of like who does what, who's making decisions and stuff.
Right. This makes me think of George R. R. Martin's infamous quote, what was Aragorn's tax policy?
I don't understand that quote.
Oh, he's more into the world of, he's into like the weird specifics of worlds rather than like obvious like good and evil morality like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because there's I don't know, there's a lot of minutia in asswife. That's what that's what I heard the ASOIF or whatever ASOIAF, A Song of Ice and Fire called is asswife, which is fun to say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But is not Osgiliath a straight ripoff of Tolkien, like Osgiliath or something?
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine with me. I was just like, is that the exact name in the other book?
I know. As I've been reading The Lord of the Rings, I'm like, dang, dude. Just straight ripping it from Tolkien. But that's fine. I feel like Bakker consistently does a good enough job of making it unique and like his own spin. And I feel like it honors Tolkien way more than it rips it off in any way. Same for Herbert. Like, I feel like he just rips shit straight out of Herbert's universe too, but in a way that's like, that's some Bakker shit. He makes it his own. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm fully with you there. There's ham-fisted and ham-hearted men.
Yep.
Which sounds tasty.
He studies his feet, his stained toes, and he's starting to think, what student did not secretly crave their old teacher's presence in uncertain times? And then I was wondering, what teacher does Bakker secretly crave the presence of? I wonder.
Oh yeah,
which Vanderbilt philosophy PhD?
It has to be Lord Minothian, right?
Oh yeah,
Mithfanion or Lord Mithfanion. No, I don't know. I wonder who is his big like influences. Whatever.
I don't know.
Wonder if they've read his books too.
So Kami's walking. He's walking in the back, and he says several times he'd found himself cackling aloud for no apparent reason. Once or twice he'd raised a hand to his cheek to discover he'd been weeping. He's just like completely fucked. And he's avoiding Kellis. That's another reason why he's in the back.
Right. But one cannot avoid Kellis.
Yeah. One cannot simply avoid Kellis's like creepy ass fucking at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, what else is happening?
Well, he's just still tripping about whether or not the apocalypse is going to happen because of the prophecy. I mean, we've talked about it, but Inasarimber will appear at the end of the world, I think is what Inasarimber Kelmomus back in the first apocalypse says. Which, of course, at first I always thought that meant that, like, an Inasarimber will come to save the world at the end. But it's not that specific. And maybe other people notice this, but I think it just kind of could also mean the world's going to end when this dude pops up. Or like the end of the world is happening when this dude pops up. So it doesn't promise how things are going to turn out. It's almost just like saying that it's bad.
Yeah.
So I get why Ukamian is tripping because I don't know. Maybe it's just like a fantasy book type or like a whatever hero's journey type of thing. I just assume that the guy that appears in the prophecy is going to fix everything.
Yeah.
And that's certainly not Bakker's goal in this.
Right.
Well, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's kind of up to the reader.
Yeah.
Perspective.
I wrote down that just more of Akamian being a little crazy. He goes, and to be alone with such knowledge, how could someone like him bear such a weight? And it made me think of people that like saw Bigfoot or something. It's like, I know what I saw.
Yeah.
But like you can't actually talk about it very much because people completely write you off as unstable.
Yeah.
As the guy that's crying without noticing and laughing at himself and stuff.
He realizes he's been crying.
Yeah.
We got a lot of chat to catch up on here. Okay, yeah, so Madness is here. What's up? It says he's been here for the past 8 minutes. Good to see the boys back. Talking about some of the forum posts. Yeah, bunch of nerds.
There's a wealth of info on the old 3Cs forum or the second Apocalypse, and I don't know, and on the Reddit. There's so much good shit that like pretty much everything and any insights I've had are most likely gained from stuff I've read online. So highly suggest if you're on a nerd trek to read that stuff and read the appendices of the Unholy Consult. The glossary and the encyclopedia has a lot of secret info.
Yeah. Totally.
Let's see. Madness says Akamian doesn't want to give him the gnosis. Waiting against that, as our gingerbeard prophet here is saying, the apocalypsis revelation. Yeah. So Akamian is cool to hang out with him, but he ultimately doesn't want to end up giving him the gnosis, which is the coveted secret thing all the mandate dudes have.
Right.
And caves like a
immediately.
Yeah.
Not immediately, but pretty quickly.
Very quickly. I don't know, just more I know what I saw type of stuff where the book is reiterating how the console it sounds like a fairy tale to everybody except for the mandate who have Siswatha's dreams so they can actually see what happened in the past. I wonder if they ever doubt if that's real too, you know?
Like if they have doubts about it?
Yeah, like touching Siswatha's heart gives you all his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if they've ever considered that's like, it could be all illusory. Or it's like you just touched this thing and it was like a psychedelic drug and now you all have the same bad trip, but what if it's not real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, Esminette believes in the consult. Also, she was open to the idea, but then she met Mr. Blackcomb #1.
Yeah.
And that
Andrew
kind of proved
Tate.
it. Andrew Tate, yeah. I was kind of wondering too, just in general, if this isn't too much of a distraction, but why Apocalypse now?
Why Apocalypse now?
So why not the movie?
Yeah.
Charlie Can't Surf, but so why is the console revving up right now? And I mean they've been cooking in the background for a while. And then Moangus finds a skin spy because he can see that shit. And then he's trying to tell Kellis and Mathanet, but was the consult prepping to like start their second apocalypse right now, or was it like they kind of spur each other on? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Maybe it just takes 2,000 years to build a no god.
Average time, construction time.
I have no idea.
Yeah. All right, we can continue if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah, he's kind of chewing on all his thoughts. Zynemus apparently told Kellis find him with the baggage at the end of the marching train.
Zynemus threw him under the donkey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
That's stupid.
I'm into it. Well, I was going to mention the shit jokes. So a couple of like almost dad jokes, but I respect them still. I mean, I respect most dad jokes. Don't get me wrong. That's one stance I'll take.
Yeah.
Pro dad joke. But he's like, oh yeah. He said that you find me back here. Kellis says, he said you preferred stepping in fresh shit over old. And Akamian shrugs. I love this because it sounds like he's not even like trying to be funny. He's still distraught, but he goes, keeps my toes warm.
Yeah. Well, he becomes so childlike. I mean, which is Kellis's effect on people, literally everyone. But it is interesting to see Akamian go from like, he goes all over the place, like wizard, scholar, spy, professional, to completely unhinged, borderline. Very emotional, and then like a kid in Kellis's gaze.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's talking about keeping his feet warm.
For sure, yeah. He's unknowingly just completely in on the manipulation from the first instant.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It bums me out.
Yeah, I was trying to explain this to somebody yesterday that hasn't read the books, but after the first read, I think you hated Kellis since the beginning, but after the first read, you can see, what is going to happen. So everything looks different in context. That Kellis, like, none of his I don't think any of his actions are innocent.
Yeah.
Not everything's harmful.
Yeah.
But everything's calculated, and I didn't know that at first. And now reading back, it's like I'm just suspicious and like protective of my little emo wizard.
Yeah.
Been like, that's fucking bastard, psychopath Jesus here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we all have a Kellis within us, though?
I think so.
Probably.
I think I do.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm successful. My Kellis is successful though.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to just like talk somebody. Well, that's what I was thinking on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
That the ultimate Kellis move for us would be to do a crypto pump and dump scheme. We'd have to make whatever second Apodcalypse coin and then get our like 8 loyal fans to buy into it and then just dump it and get like $213.
Make our money back on the stickers.
Yeah, 100%.
We're trying to come out on top over here.
Folkbook says Kellis would absolutely be a crypto finance bro.
Oh, totally.
Thank you.
And then Madness says one man's not Sarah's, another man's a commune. True. And then the Black Cum Andrew Tate connection, or Black Cum to Andrew Tate pipeline.
Appreciate the compliments. Zynemus is also the only one who pushes a commune to the library, probably with Kellis prodding.
Damn.
I'll have to look for that.
That's such a fucking bummer part of this book. I mean, it's cool, but it's sad.
Yeah.
So let's get going a little bit. Kellis ran a hand along the trunk of Daybreak's neck and asks, "What's his name?" And then for some reason, the banality of the question shocked Akamian to the point of horror. No man anyway, had cared to ask for before, not even Zynemus. Damn, dude. It shocked him to the point of horror. It's hilarious. Akami is so dramatic.
I know. Just like, he'll just like straight up walk by his like one true love Esmenet because he's like, well, I mean, you'd probably be pretty scarred if you saw Skin Spy for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I always thought it was weird that he just like walked right by her, and then later he just like finds her, and he was like, I didn't do that on purpose. But then, actually, that's unrelated to this, but I just love how he's like set off by like little things.
Mm-hmm.
No one had ever asked me the name of my mule before.
Not even my best friend. And then he caves immediately and says his name is Daybreak. He gives his innocence to Kellis.
Oh shit, that's exactly what he does.
Oh my god, dude.
I love that realization.
Published Sorrow asks what we're reading, and then
shout out, that's my housemate.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
We're reading The Warrior Prophet by R. Scott Bakker, the second book in the Prince of Nothing trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Second book in the second Apodcalypse series. Sorry, I'm trying to own everything now.
Yeah.
I just want to mention in the last page, but ultimately to the point that Brian spoke to, says Kellis had made him feel this way as though he could breathe easy. So everything about him is like this comforting presence. The reaching towards his vulnerability, like you said, he's giving his innocence over and opening up his heart to someone.
Yeah.
It's
interesting because it's like Kellis's brand of manipulation, so based on, I guess, disinhibiting people, like setting them up to do the things that they want, or like, I don't really know how to explain it exactly, but like he doesn't like implant things into people. He like facilitates them doing what they want to do, but it just like somehow ends up working out for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with that, but
it's kind of like Inception, the movie, where you want to make it seem, you want your idea to seem like it was the other person's organic idea.
Yeah.
It's also sort of like from this book, 48 Laws of Power. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Isn't that kind of like Manosphere?
It's like it's in there.
Andrew Tate likes it.
I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate would love it.
Okay.
I think it's a good book, but it's just kind of weird. It's like a history book, but also, well, it's a book about like how to get power in social situations with historical examples. And so if you take it like fully literally, it's like how to be a manipulative psychopath CEO, which is bad.
Right.
But in some of it, it's like, I think it's cool. Just like some of the laws or whatever are like, if you frame an idea, like if you want to do something and you frame it in a way that would benefit like the person that you like have to do it with, it's more likely to work for you. So just you can do stuff with like how to, rise up at your work and like, I don't know, it's like low to high key manipulative, but I feel like it's also kind of just some social engineering. Like, I don't know, it could ultimately be bad, but it doesn't say that women have to be Romanian webcam slaves. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. But sorry, the reason why I mentioned that is just that he gets other people to do his bidding for him. Like he leads, well, I'm just repeating what you said. He leads them into making the moves that they don't even know they're making his moves.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
All right. So they're chatting. They're just chatting. And then they start going into the second apocalypse. Or sorry, the first apocalypse, right? Let's see. So Kellis is like prodding him, trying to get information, and he says, or actually, I don't know. This is just info. Yeah, never mind.
Well, Kellis wants to know the story of the first apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Which, go ahead.
So, Okami, this is just like kind of information about the first apocalypse, but Okami is like, you don't understand what it was like. Every infant stillborn for 11 years, and every womb a grave, and you could feel him no matter where you were. He's an ever-present horror in every heart. You need only look to the horizon, and you would know his direction. He was a shadow and an intimation of doom.
This is Vietnam vet talking about Charlie in the jungle.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
You don't what?
Also, it says every wife violated. I'm like, why? What does that even mean?
I mean, yeah, it could be about rape. It could be just that their reproduction is turned off.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because you can't conceive a new soul when the no god is activated.
Yeah. So interesting.
Something about the 11 years, too. I can't remember where I read it, but the no god supposedly works on a 12-year cycle. So it's kind of gnarly, but also makes sense that it took him like 11 of the 12 years to beat the no god.
Yeah.
Damn. And I don't know why the 12. Somebody might, but like there's 12 numerology in the Bible and the Torah, Tanakh, and whatever, through a lot of ancient history. But like the 144,000 souls that can survive when the world is closed, that's like a 12 by 12 or 1200 by 1200 or something. 12,000 by 12,000. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard this thing that the 12 idea comes from people would count the bones in their fingers. Just 3 bones for each finger. But you could also just count the number of your fingers and like, I don't know. I started reading this book about the fall of civilizations right after the election because that was what was giving me hope.
Yeah.
And they were like, in ancient Ur, they counted the the bones in their fingers to 12 and then counted them again and again. Now our eggs are in 12s.
And the price has gone up so much.
Inflation, man.
Oh my goodness.
In this economy?
Tell us about the first apocalypse, Jacob. What happened?
Okay, well, the consult came out. It was the evil rape aliens teamed up with some super powerful non-men, mages and warriors, and a couple, I forgot what their school is called, but Gnostic sorcerers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to take over the world, or basically kill everybody to the point where there's only 144,000 people left, so they could shut off the link between the world and the outside, which is heaven and hell, which is essentially in this universe the same thing.
Mhm.
Some guy says, I've seen them both, brother, and I can tell you that a sigh in heaven and a scream in hell are indistinguishable.
It's so good.
I know.
It's so brutal.
Yeah. So the way to save their souls, because everybody is damned, essentially everybody is damned, and salvation seems to be arbitrary in this universe, even though people think they know what will get them saved. The space travel and rape aliens are trying to kill enough people so they don't have to go to hell.
Yeah.
And they've got this thing, the No God, which is the ultimate super weapon. I was wondering, is a tornado the worst natural disaster? Vote in chat. I don't know.
Who can answer this for us?
Because like we get tornadoes here, but we haven't gotten any like super crazy like Oklahoma tornadoes before.
Yeah.
In here. But like 5 people died right next to like you know, my ex's house in my old neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen how like crazy it can just like erase blocks of cities and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up.
I think tsunamis scare me more.
Your
Oh,
friend
yeah.
said tsunami.
Shout out Polish Sorrow. Tsunami scares me for sure. Earthquake and tsunami work in tandem as well.
Yeah, that's true. Tandem tsunami.
The tsunami X earthquake collaboration.
Chopped and screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Folk Bloke said a couple things. Oh yeah, some people also say base 12 is also better mathematically, which I don't understand what that means. But that's okay.
Yeah, we work on a base 10 system. My dad's a mathematician, which is cool. So he would know more about that, but I'm into it. I mean, we have 12 hours and 60 minutes is 5 times 12. 60 seconds, 5 times 12.
12 months.
12 months, right?
Could you know what month? Like, what's the 5th month out of the year?
Well, I mean, May. What?
My supervisor yesterday asked me if I knew, like, could tell the months by their number, and I was like, no. I was like, I have no idea. And then I woke up in the middle of the night last night and realized that I did know how to do that.
Oh,
yeah.
That seems like such a weird, like a.
We were talking about the like different ways generations learn now. Like I barely know cursive.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like I can't read cursive.
Uh-huh.
And I can barely read a clock.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
No.
But you definitely know that 5 equals May though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would have to do it like as if I was right. Like I would have to imagine myself writing the date. Like 5/25, and I would know that it was May.
Okay.
But if you're like, what's the 3rd month? I'd be like, fucking March.
I'm not sure I'm totally with you on this.
I don't know. Let's get back to the super volcano.
Oh yeah, the Yellowstone super volcano.
Well, Folk Bloke said super volcano. Do they count? And yes, they do count.
For sure. No, like I grew up in Utah, and so people would talk about that being like a possibility, and I just thought it was weird. It's kind of like almost like school shooter drills where you just like teachers are telling you there's this very real possibility that you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you just have to act as everything is normal.
This is normal.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah. Sorry, but yeah. Siswatha got this badass weapon called the Heron Spear.
Yep.
The Heron Spear. And shot some sort of silver laser beam lightning bolt and knocked the no god carapace coffin thing out of the sky. And he gave it to Anaxophis, and that dude shot it out of the sky. And then that seemed to be the end of the first apocalypse.
Which is pretty interesting because it's like this big build up. All the Shrank are all chattering and yammering, and the Skilvendi are beating their chests and having sex with the dirt. And then that it's just kind of like over. Like they just one shot it with the Heron Spear.
Yeah.
Heron Spear. Not that that's not cool, but it's just interesting. Also, who the fuck is Anaxophis?
Anaxophis?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be saying it wrong too. He's the king of the Canaan or something.
Okay.
It's like a 3 Seas-ish king or something. Because Nasser Kalmomus was the Norserai king.
Yeah.
Who was Siswatha's main dude, and they were like on the front lines. But then he got shot down, or I don't know, but he got killed and gave the prophecy, seeing his son in heaven and stuff. It's all sad because it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And then we found another powerful king that he gave the Heron Spear to.
Okay.
I just know, and I think it's a Jason Deem, the Somnambulist, the artist guy that did a lot of cool art for the series. I'm pretty sure he makes Anaxophis is brown skinned in the picture, which is indicating like, southern 3 Seas, Mediterranean vibes.
Yeah.
I believe. That's just how I picture it. I don't know more about him, but
no, that's cool. Yeah.
I wonder who his ancestors are.
I don't know. But yeah, Anaxophis is like the one that fucking murks the no god.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so as a communist telling Kellis this story, he's like fucking having a full-on PTSD, like fucking freak out on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Kellis is like, "Are you okay?" And the communist is like, "A commune? Who is a commune?" And he's just like full Siswatha mode.
Mm-hmm.
And Kellis is like, "Come on, stand up, dude." And yeah. Oh, and actually, so like Kellis stands him up and is being all nice, but he says, "What's the Heron Spear?" He's like, "What's that?"
So tell me more about
Tell me more about that
spear.
super mega powerful weapon. I thought that was pretty funny.
I think that's a good point.
And it's also a commune is kind of reflecting, or the narrator is reflecting. The overthrow of the no god was a tale often referred to, but rarely told by the Mandate schoolmen. And in fact, a commune couldn't remember ever telling it, not even to Zynemus, and he had yielded it to Kellis thoughtlessly. I just thought that was interesting that it's often referred to, but never really told.
Yeah. I assume it's because it's so horrifying. They have that like Siswatha first person experience of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the coolest story ever.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. You get a couple bowls of wine in you and you just like want to start
some ampoi.
Yeah, get some ampoi. Smoke some of that opium, and then like you don't want to, I don't know, your drunk uncle doesn't start talking about Korea or whatever, like
Yeah, totally.
I feel like someone's, I don't know, maybe it's also just that the Mandate schoolmen are seen as such crazy weirdos that people don't take their shit seriously.
Yeah,
but I think I would listen. I think you would listen if someone like some man on the streets ranting about the no god. Do you stop and listen?
No,
No,
definitely not. I've worked in the psych hospital too long.
Dude, you're gonna hear like the prophecy and just not even know it or clock it.
It's interesting because like, so on the psychosis unit, so for the viewers, I got my master's degree 2 years ago, I'm now a therapist, and I also work in a hospital, in a psychiatric hospital. Hooray! But so I work oftentimes on the psychosis unit, and I do think sometimes, like, for example, there was this person whose psychosis was presenting as just like dance. They were just like dancing.
Fuck
They
yeah.
didn't sleep or eat or anything. They were just dancing. And I was like, I mean, obviously it's like they're not well, but I was like,
Yeah.
you know, like 2,000 years ago, they probably would be like a prophet or something. They'd be like, this is like a holy person.
Mhm.
And then sometimes, dude, sometimes people will be like, their psychosis is just a little too, like, maybe it's a ghost. I'm like doing their assessment, and I'm like, I'm like, bro, I think you just got a ghost. Like, I think you got to call a priest or something. It's like, oh man,
It's like likely diagnosis ghost.
Patient totally fine, serious ghost problem. It's pretty interesting hearing people's, like, I don't know, it's a weird world. The outside is fucking close in some people,
Dude.
The hospital is a topos, I think.
Yeah, I bet.
And thank you, Madness. Says congratulations.
Yeah,
Appreciate
dude.
that.
Great. You're doing great things.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my spiel about that.
Oh, I want to throw it back a little bit. It's just speaking of that, you know, the dreams and the psychosis and stuff. There's a post on the Reddit recently that talked about the inverse fire.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, what really convinces you to join the consult, right? And
oh my god, I would join the consult like right now.
I picture it as if anyone's seen what's the Talk to Me, the horror movie Talk to Me, with the weird like flashes of hell with the people writhing naked and stuff, but then flames on top of it. That's how I picture hell in this world, or whatever, the outside.
Yeah. But
so I thought it was fascinating. Somebody else totally brought it up, but they said that the inverse fire in the encyclopedia or whatever at the end of the Unholy Consult, it's translated from an Inquiry word. Literally, it means the immersive post-material interface.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
So it's just the tech term for after your body's gone, this is what your experience will be, right?
The post-material interface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love, he just like mixes the metaphysical, biblical, epic shit, and then it turns it into tech terms where it's also like if you're a Luddite and think that, you know, the Industrial Revolution has been a disaster for the human race, you can vibe with it too. Yeah. You can rock with it.
I love it. He really knows how to pull it all together.
Anyway, shout out for whatever intrepid reader pointed that out, because I liked that. When he's tripping about the dream, he mentioned some of the dragons' names, which I liked. We got the Raku. Oh, does Milton say Raku?
No, but I should teach you.
Can you start training your son to say Raku?
Yeah, we got some chat. Cursed Amada says, hello, lads. Can't stay long. Just want to say hello. Hello. Thanks for joining. And also, I know Meg chimed in earlier, and I didn't say anything. Hello, Meg.
Do you have to do the call of the salmon now?
Thanks for C. Ross Madness. Wait, which one's Madness? Am I fucking up? I thought Stereo Mike was Madness. Or is it Curse Armada?
I don't know, man. Sorry, guys. You're all dear to my heart, but I don't understand. I'm a what is it? I'm a solipsist. I think only I exist.
Only I exist.
Yeah.
But no, I should teach Milton more 3C's language. Yeah.
Just teach him some fake mythical languages.
Yeah. Well, if we ever have another kid, we'll definitely name it Nilgicus.
Fuck yeah. You got first naming rights on that one? You don't want to name it Skogma?
Yeah, rip off the Rip us in the dragon names, dude. Hit us with it.
Okay, we got Ancient Scoffra, his hide scarred from 1,000 battles. I think that was the one. No, Cthulhu was the old ass
The
one.
stinky pug.
I think so, yeah. The genetic abomination.
The wretched dog.
Yeah. Dude, it can't breathe because its snout's too smushed. I dog sit for a living mostly, and yeah, it's just crazy how I want to see what all their skulls look like.
Yeah.
We got Cthulhu. We got Skogma, aka Smegma the dragon.
Gossip.
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 Seems a little less aggressive.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sneaky dragon.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So are all the dragons born at this point? Like, or are some dragons reared in the meantime between the first and second apocalypse?
Good question, because they lose the knowledge of the Techne over time. But like Syl, the Inkora king, I imagine he knows a lot more than Orang and Orax.
Yeah.
Or that the arc hasn't worn down and like gone out of commission as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that God, I'm probably getting it wrong, but if Cthulhu is the first dragon, whoever the first dragon was said that he was born before Arcfall.
Yeah. Ripped from the void.
Yeah.
So cool.
Forced to be employed.
That makes me think that they were taken from space.
Uh-huh.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
That?
I've imagined it, like whether they're just like floating in outer space or stolen from another planet.
Yeah.
Or like, because they all kind of don't even know what they are too.
Mm-hmm.
Just the Inkora creations, you know? Like all the Srank are probably, I guess, the dumbest, but they all say that they're children of the inverse fire, but they don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And that like Arc is their progenitor, but like if it's even, I don't know if it's even on anymore, like what they know about it.
Right.
It's a good question. I like just imagine slithering in the cold quiet of space.
Yeah. Same. Oh, we got Folkbook says the old one was Wutiat.
Right. Nope. You're correct. I was wrong.
Wutiat is the pug.
Yeah.
The wretched pug in the basement. The old stinky pug.
Yeah. And so Cthulhu's the cunny dragon, right?
I don't know.
I need to bone up on this, but I appreciate everybody else's knowledge correcting us.
We'll just steal that.
Wutiat.
I know. The names are so good.
So Arcamians got all this knowledge because of touching Siswatha's heart, which everyone in the Mandate does.
Right.
Is Siswatha, did he have his soul ripped into pieces to sacrifice himself so he could keep people alive to save the world from the No God?
I don't know. Do you think he experiences the pain of reliving that over? Like, is his soul experiencing that times like 100 every night?
I guess probably, but I never considered that. Dude, having one bad dream at a time is enough.
Yeah, imagine having however many people are in the Mandate, what, like 200 or something? 200 dreams a night.
Of you just getting your teeth ripped out of your face?
Yeah.
You're on the wall with the Setengira or whoever.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I just was thinking about the mutilated at the very end of the series.
Yeah.
And I think whoever else, Shay and Anra, people have their souls ripped into pieces.
Yeah.
Horcruxes, if you will.
Yep.
Come on. That's my pet theory. Somebody more well-read tell me about it, but that Siswatha ripped his soul apart into pieces so he could be like the sacrifice that eventually saves the world.
Mm-hmm. What a shitty deal. Doesn't even work.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we don't really know, actually, I guess.
Yeah. The No God, when it's activated, it has like no self-awareness. It's a consciousness without knowledge or something. You guys might know better, but supposedly the concept is called a P-zombie or a philosophical zombie that Bakker talks about. And I don't know the philosophy of that really. I tried to read about it and I didn't understand. But it's real talkative. It bellows out through the voices of thousands of Shrank and whatever. What do you see? That's like the classic.
Mm-hmm.
And who am I?
Yeah.
Or what am I? Did you say who?
What?
What?
What am I?
And then I just highlighted this section. No Gods seems like a little more talkative at the beginning than it is later in the series. Maybe it's like it felt like it exposed itself a little too much and started being more shy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's screaming about not knowing what it is or what's going on. There's no meaning to anything.
Do you think Bakker has stock in like OpenAI or Nvidia? Does he buy stock in them?
I feel like he would like short it if he did.
I don't know, I'm just kidding. I know because he hates.
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah.
scared. Anyway, sorry.
No,
I
you're
interrupted
good.
Your commentary.
That's all good too. Yeah, Akamian's just fully going through his PTSD thing, and then Kellis kind of brings him back with he's like, let's take off our sandals.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kick back. And I just thought and when there was but one set of footprints in the sand, that was when you carried me.
What is that?
It's some Jesus-y thing where like when you're tired or despondent or whatever, broken, Jesus puts you on his back and will walk you down the beach piggyback style.
Dude, I wish that shit was real. So bad. I wish, dude.
Yeah, you want to believe.
I want to believe so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm kind of spacey at this point, but
no, it's hard because honestly, this chapter is like basically not very much of anything. Just very brief, like just kind of like what the fuck's happening in the back of the baggage train,
right?
And then a little flashback, and then Kellis and him going back and forth.
Yeah, like I said, it's almost like the third recap of this book to begin the book.
Yeah.
But I like it. I mean, it's like the most epic point in history and of the world at this point. But yeah, the baggage train is obviously in pursuit of the Holy War, which is funny to zoom out from the most like huge disaster possible in the history of mankind, and then they're just like, we got to go kill these Muslim people.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how shit goes in the world.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that like Akamian is he's so fucked up on his relationship with Kellis, or like how Kellis is making him feel that he tries. So he says, as the days passed, the revelation simply complicated his anguish. One night he prepared the cants of calling no less than 3 times, only to have them collapse into mumbled curses and recriminations. That's pretty interesting though. He's just like, he can't even do his wizard shit because he's so preoccupied. And so at this point, like, he's yielded to Kellis. He's told him about the second apocalypse, something that he's told the story, which he hasn't told to anyone else before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like he knows he's boned. He's going to give him the gnosis at some point.
Yeah, I think with our knowledge, our foresight, that it's like already happened. He's already submitted to Kellis in a way.
Yeah.
So Kellis probably was like, oh yeah, I got this on lock.
Mm-hmm. Which also makes sense. I mean, Akamian is kind of always on a sick one as far as having very intense emotions, but whenever like you fucked up more than you are like letting yourself know at that moment, or like I think about it like relapsing or something. When you like you just drinking a little bit of kava, but you're like 5 days away from banging a bunch of heroin. And then that you're like the feeling is not proportionate or proportional to the current situation, because the horror of the future.
You foresaw the doom.
Yeah,
for sure. I feel so bad for him. I also think it's kind of funny, like he's a whiny little baby in a way. I've obviously never experienced anything like this, or like war, or any, real threats to my life, but a commune's like a miserable mess at this point, and then just everything just gets worse and worse and worse for him. And it does seem to be able to handle it better in the future.
Yeah, especially on the slog. I feel like he really gets his stride.
Yeah.
Because he has a Curie.
Yeah.
That
Dude, I
helps.
wanted to do Curie so bad when I've been reading that lately.
Mm-hmm.
Still, doesn't it sound great?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds, it sounds like meth. A little bit.
But it like warms your soul.
It's good meth.
And rips you apart. Yeah, it's good meth. You can burn my bones and snort my ashes afterward if you want.
We could dig up my dog.
Who is this?
Oh shit!
This is
Sorry.
Mud.
At one point, a commune is thinking inside, like, okay, the end is coming. He says, the end is coming. I must decide. So I'm like, decide what? I wonder. I guess, is he wondering decide whether or not to tell the mandate?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what would, like you mentioned earlier, like what would that do? What would the mandate do about that? Because I don't think it would change anything.
Yeah.
Because Kellis would just fucking own them too.
Yeah. Of course, a commune doesn't know that Kellis is doing yet. But yeah, I think you're right about that. I think that there's some worry from commune that they'll kill Kellis or torture him or something. But I also don't know why they would do that. I know that they would like take him. They're thinking they'll like capture him and use him to their ends and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably hit him with the cancer compulsion to try to get everything out of him they can to, in furtherance of the prophecy to stop the second apocalypse. But like theoretically they've got the good, like they've got the whatever, their intentions are the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, I don't know, what's one man to, they say that in other stuff too. What's one man to compared to the world or the empire or something? Nothing or everything. A secret third thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what the mandate's like policy is about. Hey, if you happen to discover the Kelmomian prophecy, like if you happen to find the missing Anasarimber, here's what you do. Yeah.
Dude, I bet they advertise like a reward or a promotion and they just don't give it to them. Like the
that
cops
would happen
do.
To a commune.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just a bumbling sad guy.
Oh.
Like, well, you didn't technically whatever.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get his 10,000 Kelix or marks or whatever. But they're chilling more and talking about bro stuff, and Kellis throws this perfect ass rock, which I think it's like Dude Perfect or something. There's some like YouTube guys that like shoot basketballs from airplanes into like hoops and stuff.
Yeah,
ping pong balls off of the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
but yeah, he just does like this ultimate trick shot, and the commune's like, "Did you do that on purpose?" And then Kellis is like, "Nah," but it totally was. Because you can calculate the geometries of the the density of the rocks and the humidity in the air and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, then he uses it as a metaphor. He's like, the unforeseen, the catastrophic follows hard upon all our actions. And Commune goes, well, a Commune wasn't so sure he even had a point in decisions, he said. A Commune's just fully wrapped up in his own dilemma.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah, he's very myopic. Well, it's funny because it's like he's myopic, like self-obsessed, but he's also world obsessed. So, I mean, it's the comparison is interesting to me.
Yeah.
He's tripping about how the Holy War will destroy a bunch of cities, or it might be the apocalypse, but things are going to destroy all these big cities that he's, I guess, seen them burn before many times. And he asks, "Who are you, Kellis?" Which I think is like a direct echo of what the No God was saying 3 pages before.
Yeah.
Trying to understand this thing with seemingly no personality, which is apt because the Dunyan are like kind of automatons, right?
Yeah.
Or like soulless in a way, like passionless, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like living souls, but
They're sterile.
yeah, true, yeah.
Very sterile.
I thought there was just that connection was like Akamian didn't know how like apt that or that echo of it was.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you, Kellis?
Yeah. And Akamian thinks the truth was always enough, wasn't it? My note was just no.
What was the beginning of the chapter? It was
right.
Ignorance is trust. So what was the end? What did you highlight?
Just said
Truth was always enough.
Could anything be enough? Truth. Other than the truth. The truth was always enough, wasn't it? Anyway, I want to believe that, but I don't think so. I mean, that's also the most ambiguous question.
There's so many truths.
Yeah.
Whose truth?
What even is truth?
Fuck.
Does truth matter?
I don't know. That's the end of the chapter, though.
Yeah. His torment goes on.
Yeah, it says, there was no end, it seemed, to his torment.
Uh-huh. The shout out to, I can't remember the band, but Sam talks about it all the time. They have a good phrase from a song, self-inflicted mental terror. I love that. But Akami is tormented by his own mind and decisions right now. But then what I thought about was later in the next series, the Aspect Emperor series, he's fully transferred his torment onto an external villain, where it's almost like a relief when he gets cucked and banished by Kellis, or banishes himself, where Kellis is ultimately the enemy and the scapegoat now, and he doesn't have to like think about his own shortcomings in any way for the next 20 years.
Yeah, it just focuses on his hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that kept him alive, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Kept him alive in his little wizard tower.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love that side of things. Those stories.
I think my favorite thing about, maybe top 3 favorite things about these books are just the terminology and the names.
Yeah.
You just like texting me like, say Tidone.
Yeah. Kurgui Bowman. I think about that one. Just throughout, yeah, like, you know how songs get stuck in your head?
Yeah.
I'll have the phrases get stuck in my head.
I woke up feeling like an Egg-munder.
Yeah. Woke up feeling like I was swimming in the fucking Fayus, or the waters of the Fayus. Oh, shit.
Phenyl abcascamandry.
Yeah, Ginganjohoy. See, it could just go on.
Dude, yeah.
So good.
Favorite fake language.
That's why the Unholy Consult is my favorite, just because the fucking battle, all the names, just like, it's so good. Like, a whole page of just different fucking people's names and all the kid frames.
When they introduce the armies.
Yes, dude. Which is cool, because that's some straight Tolkien shit, too. And I really enjoy that about reading Tolkien. Like, reading all the names is really fun. What we got?
I just pulled up the known Sifrang list. We got Enkariotis, Hagazayas,
Hish,
Kakaliol,
Puskarat,
Setmagaha,
Soharat,
Urskrux,
Zayaz.
I think Soharat's the sickest one, right? The one that throws wolves out of his palms. Yeah. Blast flies from his mouth and wolves from his palms.
I wonder where that, like, if that was just Bakker, like, being like, fuck it, this is the last book, I'm just gonna ball out. Are you crazy? Or if that's, like, informed by some type of, I don't know, historical event.
Yeah, who knows?
When did that happen?
I did notice, though, that the dragon that Akamian, Siswatha Akamian was battling had a necklace of skulls. And that made me think
Yeah.
of Kali.
Of what?
Kali?
Oh, interesting. I
Hindu,
did.
right?
Yeah. I did notice that. I like that.
Yeah, Hindu goddess, destruction and stuff. Primarily associated with time, death, and destruction. But they worship her. I think it's not like a fear. It's kind of like the what's it? The dreaded mother of birth, Yahweh type of thing, I believe. I don't know.
Yahweh, be kidding me?
Yeah. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, not like I'm gonna leave you hanging here, but I don't have any more to add.
Yeah. No, I mean that was the chapter. Yeah, I'm just shooting the shit at this point.
Shit shooter, dude.
I'm glad that people showed up and bear with us. I feel like I'm a little rusty on my rigor, and I didn't sleep very much.
Yeah. Hopefully we entertained. I mean, we both have some colds and stuff. Also, we're just making excuses for what we think it might be a subpar performance right now.
Yeah.
It could be totally fine.
I feel like a pug with no eyes.
I feel like a Egmunderman.
Yeah.
Or a what is it? Who's the dudes with two hearts?
Oh, the Holka.
Yeah, Holka.
The two-hearted sons
of King. I don't know, dude.
I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was episode 1, season 2.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We're at youtube.com/@secondapodcalypse. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcast audio. We got an email, secondapodcalypse@gmail.com. Shout out to this guy Ed who's been emailing me.
Ed.
Yeah. Super nice guy. That's all I got.
Cool. Love y'all.
Love you. See ya.
Bye. How do I end this?